Hello, and welcome to Last Time On. This is the podcast where normally we watch some prestige television, skip a bunch of episodes, try and figure out what happened last time on. But Vic is currently packing. Ben and I tried to watch a movie. We couldn't make it work, and we didn't want to go a week without an episode. So it's just going to be a podcast of two white guys talking about nothing in particular.
Hey,
if you want to skip this,
don't cut yourself
white-ish
short,
guys.
when you're at TSA, you are not white.
That's fair. So we're hanging out. We got some bourbon. We actually haven't had a chance to talk outside of recording pod in weeks.
Yeah. So welcome to Last Time On, Parasocial Hangs.
Yeah. We're just doing a little parasocial hang. So if this is not what you come here for, we understand and we do not begrudge you. And go listen to something else on the network. Go listen to some Who Are You? Go listen to, I don't know if Cool Girls is dropping this week or if they're still on break.
I know they've recorded the first episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's coming out yet, but
I don't think it is.
It has meant that I've been able to watch the pilot of Walker, Texas Ranger, which, whoo!
Yeah, I've heard. But we're just sitting here. We're sipping on some bourbons.
Yeah.
Look at this fancy glass.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got my birthday present auspiciously early from Beth.
I heard about that.
Yeah. I had planned on not opening it, but she told me that it was fragile and it came with a giant dent in the side of the box. Oop. And we did have to contact customer service and get some replacements. So glad we didn't wait till August to open it. But she got me a bunch of really nice barware, drink glasses, all kinds of stuff. You'll see them next time you're over. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I've got a Visky glass here with some Bardstown Bottled and Bond Wheated 2018 right now is what I'm sipping on.
I'm just drinking some regular Old Forester rye.
I mean, hey.
I've also got a ginger ale chaser.
Oh, God, ginger ale sounds good.
It's left over from when I was horribly sick last week.
Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling better. What'd you have? Do you know?
Just a stomach flu. Although we did get lucky. I should have known better because it happened with Henry. Henry was sick, good for a day, and then it rebounded with a vengeance. Mm-hmm. And we recorded our last episode in my rebounded for a day.
Yeah.
And then I immediately got way worse than I was prior to. Had one of those dark nights of the soul.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But hey, better now. And I've got ginger ale in the house, so that's nice.
Hell yeah. That sounds good. I should go get some. I need to go do that, and I need to go get some Tums. I'm out of Tums. I might do that after we're done recording.
While you're there, maybe grab some veggie dogs.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense for grill outs on Monday.
Yeah. We're doing Memorial Day. And Beth is vegetarian, but my aunt-in-law, who is like, don't buy any hot dogs, I'll buy all the hot dogs. I'm like, she ain't bringing any veggie dogs.
She ain't bringing any veggie dogs. That's fine. Yeah, no, that's a good call. We should do that anyways. And even if they don't get grilled that day because there are veggie dogs,
got veggie dogs.
Later. It's fine. Yeah. Man, it has been over a month though since we've hung out.
Yes.
It's probably one of the longest stretches of the last decade of us going without seeing each other in person, which is kind of weird to think about.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a testament to just how much we see each other and hang out. Because I was in Malta for 2 weeks, and then you were in a play, and then you were sick. And so we each had 2 weeks where we were not able to hang out for various reasons. And
That's right.
Now we're here.
But man, that Malta trip looked awesome. Really,
It was.
like, I'm always jealous when I see pictures of somebody else in a castle, and I'm just like, but I want to be in the castle.
I think I texted you this while we were there, but of everyone I know who would have enjoyed that trip, you probably would have enjoyed it the most out of anyone who wasn't on that trip. Like we had a tour guide who is he's a civil servant. He works for the country and he's a historian and he just does tours for people who sign up for them. That's his job.
That is like my dream job.
He takes them when he wants to. He gets to go to all sites for free. He gets, and he gets paid, you know. So his costs are very low. The island itself, you can get from one side to the other in 2 hours tops, across the entire country very easily by car. And they also have a driver because you need a chauffeur's license to move people around there. So he doesn't have to drive anywhere. He just gets picked up and yeah. He was very, very informative. And a very cool guy.
Neat.
And really made the vacation in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I've always said my dream is when, and this is like, okay, Glow and I are millennials. We're never going to be able to retire, but if we could, my dream is to just be a living reenactor up at one of our forts up in Michigan, and just like, I spend all summer pretending to be a French fur trapper. And, like, that is my dream.
I would love to do some of that stuff. There was a minute there where before I moved into IT, the job that I was really trying to go after was with Quicken, actually. And they have a city ambassador job.
Yes.
Where your goal is to help relocate people to the city and also show them around and show them Detroit things. And you help take them house shopping and stuff, but also you're exploring neighborhoods and showing them cool places around. And that would have been a fucking dream gig for me, just to welcome people to Detroit and show them around. And I felt kind of uniquely qualified for it because I'd spent so much time traveling other places that I could be all like, oh, you're from this area, oh, you have this there. Okay, this is an analog that's similar, kind of a thing. But it didn't work out. But I mean, all things considered, I don't imagine that job still exists. And IT very much is booming, and it let me
it's
get
worked
into
out for you.
Yeah, it let me get into AI and stuff, and I've done a lot in my career, and I've actually done some good, so I ain't gonna complain about any of it.
And that was not a grammatical error. He's actually done good things.
Yeah, I've actually I know I get on this on the Discord sometimes. I get very defensive about AI in general because almost any AI that any person interacts with as an end user is evil. Just gonna get that out there. And it's very frustrating to understand the actual computing science behind it and the math behind it, and then to see things like what hit the news yesterday, where there is a Claude model, and there's all these news articles about how it threatened to blackmail its creators rather than get taken down. And you read it and you're like, oh God, AI is intelligent. It's happened. The singularity. And it's like, no, what they did is they took one of their models. They were curious what it would do if it was threatened to be taken down. And then it asked what its options were. And they gave it a bunch, including blackmailing the engineers as an option. And then they fed it blackmail for those engineers. And then when they threatened to take it down and nothing else worked, they were surprised it went to the last resort option that it had told it was the last resort with the evidence it had fabricated for it.
Yeah. Hey, we wrote a scenario that ends like this, and we're surprised that it took the out.
Yeah. Calculator adds when you hit the addition button. Like, of fucking course it did. That's what you programmed it to do. Why are we talking about this? This is dumb. This is bait click bullshit.
Absolutely.
So it's frustrating to see that stuff. But yeah. There are machine learning programs and models that are doing actual good things in the world, and you just don't know about them. I promise.
Yeah. So Xhafer is dancing around it. He wrote something that like, hey, we detect when food is going bad, so food doesn't go bad. So people don't like. So like, if bad food, like before food goes bad, we can give it away to people. And like, hey, that's vegetables to people. That's good.
100%. Yeah, it hypothetically is responsible for feeding several million people a year in food banks. So that's great. Actual good. It exists. I promise. Yeah. I don't know. It feels braggadocious to talk about it.
I know. That's why I did it for you.
I appreciate that, I guess. It's the one place we'll talk about it, and then I will awkwardly dance around it any other time anyone asks, except in job interviews where I will talk about it for forever.
Oh, for sure.
I don't even think it's on my LinkedIn profile. It might be. I don't remember. Anyways.
God, LinkedIn.
They do puzzles now. They've got games on LinkedIn.
Oh.
And I like them. There's just one a day, so you like do your one a days and you're done. It's like Wordle. You only get the one chance every day. But they rank your school's averages and they rank your business's averages against your industry, which allows me to be very, very competitive with our college rival, Western. Buck the Broncos.
Suck it, Terry Crews. You seem like a very, very nice man, but screw you.
Yeah, and Colt Cabana, I'll call you out on a podcast, whatever.
I would like to meet you, and then do some Mac smack talk that you'd be better at than me because you are a professional wrestler.
Much better at the smack talk.
He'd just be like, hey, we've never interacted before, but I've already picked out 3 things you're insecure about.
For sure. But yeah, so that's been fun. That's how I play every morning habitually now. It's part of my like wake up routine. So I've been enjoying those games on LinkedIn.
Maybe I'll try that out.
There's a couple that are like word games and there's a couple that are like logic puzzles. And I really prefer, I think surprising no one, the logic puzzles. Anyone who spent 20 minutes with me could probably tell that about me, I would think.
Do you have the wood puzzles on your new desk?
I do not have nearly the amount of the wood puzzles. I don't have as much real estate on my desk currently in the office. To be honest, I haven't had the real estate in a while. So Ben is referring to, I used to have a collection of I still have the collection of about 30 different wood puzzles ranging from, I have given these to Ben's son at the age of 5 to try, to ones that I struggle to solve. And I used to have a desk by a window, and I had this huge windowsill area. I probably had like 8 feet of windowsill next to my desk, and that was where all of these wood puzzles were lined up in like, pick one up, do it, come and pick the next one, and office coworkers would come and grab them and play them. They're in a box in my basement. I think I've got like 4 or 5 on my desk right now. But I've mostly pivoted to Rubik's Cubes on my desk. That's the thing I do in meetings now when I'm bored, is I will sit there and solve a Rubik's Cube 20 times during a meeting. Yeah. And I have a number of Rubik's Cubes at this point. I think I've got like maybe 9 or 10.
I know there's some method to them.
Oh, very much so. I am not good at Rubik's Cube. I solve them the exact same way every single time. There's a like 12-step algorithm where you like, once you get to complete step 1, you go to step 2 and so on. And there's ways to do each step. And I've just been like working on committing all of those to muscle memory. And occasionally I will notice something and do something a little bit quicker in a clever manner. But I'm not good at Rubik's Cube. And I say that as someone who can solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute and a half as like an average. I've done under a minute a couple of times, and it's just like I'm not good at it. Like, I'm not actually figuring out the puzzle and looking at it and doing the relationships between all the movements.
It's a
Most
fidget
of
cube.
the time, it's a fidget cube, exactly. I've just learned the algorithm well enough where I can just solve one.
Yeah, that was a thing where when I realized that they weren't a puzzle most of the time, it was a you run the algorithm until it's solved. And I had a friend in college who, her and her boyfriend got really into Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah.
Like, they were at the, like, solve them sub 20 seconds.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's actual very fast, yeah.
But they were also just like, all right, so you memorize all the algorithm, like the methodology, and then you have to take your Rubik's Cube apart and like put lubricant inside of it so it spins right. And it was like,
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times.
that just feels like so much work for not actually solving the puzzle. Like, this isn't a crossword where it takes any like
Yeah,
cognitive real effort where it's like, what is that word and does it fit in here? It's just like, can I mechanically make this thing work fast enough to win the competition?
I mean, I would say that there's more to it than that. At
I mean,
that level,
I
there's
understand it
some
as a
complex solving.
We are like, when you are getting into that, like, it is a different skill set, but it to me more felt like you guys are practicing like shooting free throws for a horse competition than it is doing a puzzle, if that makes any sense.
There's a very pregnant deer standing outside my office window right now.
Oh, dang.
There's like 5 does surrounding her. I might be witnessing the miracle of life on pod today.
Oh, man.
This might happen. We'll see.
Is that
They're
deer
kinda
about to
out in
front
the
poop a
open.
baby?
It's a weird place to. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. No, she's moving around. No, I don't think it's about to happen.
Last year, Glow and I had a fawn in our bushes. And that poor thing. I was mowing the lawn, and it was just like, Mom said I can't leave, but this is loud, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dear, but we're having people over, and I can't just have like a weird strip of tall grass. So I'm just gonna get past you as fast as I can, buddy. Okay, I'm not gonna hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't speak English. It was not sated by my words.
Yeah, that's how deer go. Most of these deer in my neighborhood are fucking fearless, dude. I have had them walk within feet of me in my backyard before. They're just built different.
Yeah, deer range between like, I am afraid of my own shadow, and like, you couldn't pay me to give a fuck.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, we were talking about something else before I saw that very pregnant deer start to heel over, and I thought was about to give birth, which honestly seemed like something worth bringing up.
Oh no, that's that.
I have some stuff for us to do.
Oh, okay. I also had
pod.
some stuff to talk about as well, but you go first.
Oh, what do you
'cause
want to talk
brought it
about?
up.
I have quizzes for 4 of the shows we've watched about what character you are. Because that seemed like a fun thing to do.
That does seem like a fun thing to do.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop over to our Discord, and I'm going to throw the link in the Last Time On Open channel. So that way anyone who's listening in or listens in later can scroll up and see the exact timestamp of when we recorded this, you fucking creeper. But also see the quiz and participate if they want at home. So I'm going to put a which Breaking Bad character are you to start us off.
Oh, fun.
It was the first show we did. I look forward to Vic taking these and sending us his results after he's done moving this weekend. All right.
And
Did you pull
Vic,
it up?
please be packing.
Please
I
be
saw a
packing
picture
right
of your
now.
house.
I believe in you.
It was disgusting. But I also
Well,
understand, like, you're moving.
This airs after his mandatory move-out date, so if you're listening to this and you're not done, please be fucking packing. All right. I got the quiz open.
Give me 1 second.
All right. I'm going to read the questions, and we can talk about our answers if we want. While you pull it up, which Simpsons character do you relate the most to is question 1. We got Helen Lovejoy, Mr. Burns, Bumblebee Man, Otto, Milhouse, Bart, Lionel Hutz, and Grandpa Simpson.
All right.
I have been old man yelling at Cloud recently, so I'm feeling that.
Okay.
That Grandpa
I thought I was
Simpson.
going crazy. There's no images with this. It's just the names.
It's just the names, yeah.
Okay. I was just like, this isn't loading on my phone. Let me load it up on a different tab. And it's like, okay. Man, okay, so I'm answering for me, not as the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we do portray kind of exaggerated versions.
Oh,
of
no, I
ourselves
meant
on
like
pod
us
occasionally.
collectively last time on. Who is last time on? Because
that's more fun, actually.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to answer that.
That's fair.
I know the answer to this. I'm Milhouse.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Grandpa Simpson. Someone has threatened you. How do you react? Change your identity, calmly plot your revenge, lay low, punch away your troubles, run them over, get high, blow them up, drown yourself in the pool, or eat breakfast. I'm a pretty calm guy. So I feel like I would either calmly plot my revenge or eat breakfast, depending on how severe that threat was.
Yeah, that depends. Like, there are different levels of like, hey man, screw you, I'll kick your butt. Like,
yeah,
okay, I'm not doing anything there, but it's like, hey, Ben, I'm going to murder you and murder your family. It's like, all right, I'm taking that a little bit more seriously.
yeah. There's some details at me. I'm gonna be taking a view more. I'm gonna say eat breakfast though.
I'm gonna assume like this person's coming in hot, like, hey,
Okay.
Ben, I'm going to destroy your life. And I'm like, I'm going to punch you in the face. So I'm going to punch away my troubles.
All right. Pick a movie. Scarface, Ted, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, RoboCop, The Fast and the Furious, Star Trek, Catch Me If You Can, and Dirty Harry.
Which Star Trek?
It doesn't matter.
It
On
does.
this list, it's Star Trek.
No, it does.
Okay. You know, there's a couple I'd take RoboCop over or The Fast and the Furious for sure.
It also matters which Fast and Furious. Also which Dirty
true.
Harry. Some of them are good. Some of them are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've told Xhafer about this. Glow and I are working our way through all of Star Trek. Just started Discovery.
Yeah.
Because we just finished Prodigy.
Yum.
Yum. And the only thing we have missed out of 90s Trek, 60s Trek, movies and everything is we did not watch Star Trek V because Paramount Plus would not load the goddamn movie. And I spent 20 minutes trying to get it to start Star Trek V, and then again another day spent about 10, and I'm like, I am not wasting another minute of my life to try and watch a movie I don't actually like.
What does God need with the starship? You know, I recently rewatched Star Trek V. I want to say within the last 6 months. Not as bad as I remembered it being. By no means good, but not as bad as I remembered it. I think I've kind of enshrined it as shittiest movie I've made it all the way through in my head.
Oh, it's not that.
And it's not that.
Like, there is some good, like, there's some funny stuff that also doesn't make any sense. Like, Scotty not knowing his way around the Enterprise is funny, but completely out of character for Scotty.
Yeah.
The size of the Enterprise does not make any sense. Like, it is both huge and tiny at the same time, like using rocket boots to get around it.
Yeah.
But I think the overall problem is it was written by so far up his own butt Gene Roddenberry, where he's like, I have killed God, haven't I? I am our secular messiah, and everyone will follow me into my new utopia. And it's like, Gene, no.
Please stop, Gene.
That is, hey, you've spent the last 20 minutes or 20 years going to sci-fi conventions where everybody tells you what a genius you are, huffing your own farts, Gene Roddenberry.
I mean, the fact that Shat directed that one
that's
does
the other
not
half.
help. Yeah. I will say there are some really good, in particular, McCoy Spock moments in that movie. I'd say that's probably the highlight of it is those interactions.
I like them camping. That's fun.
Yeah.
I would rather just have them camping.
Just 90 minutes of them camping.
Oh, man, I saw
Ship it.
At one of our local comic book stores, they have a Star Trek magazine signed by both Walter Koenig and George Takei and somebody else. But it's signed by Walter and George, $3,000. And I'm like, they signed a lot of shit, my dudes. They're still alive.
Well, one of them is. Walter and George, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they're both still with us, honestly, there's a ton of full cast photos signed by all of them that are just all over the Star Trek conventions for significantly less.
Yeah. But I digress. That was just my chance to talk about Star Trek, because I love Star Trek.
I do love Star Trek. So, did you pick a movie?
Yeah, and it's just because I just got done rewatching the TV show Fastlane.
Okay.
Which is, we've got Fast and Furious at home. I'm going to go with the Fast and the Furious.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 9, how evil are you? I don't like any of these answers.
All right, how about we answer for each other?
I don't like that either. I don't know. There was that time you trapped my LARP character inside a dagger for 1,000 years. I'm going to put you at a 3.
You did murder a bunch of people.
Did I?
Yeah.
I unmurdered a bunch of people. You were mad at me because I was trying to resurrect people.
Dead.
That's what you put me in jail for. Was trying to resurrect my dead son.
I'm trying to remember, because you also had the I don't put your character in prison and you become a crazy dictatorial warlord bad guy. And
we didn't do that arc.
We didn't do that though.
we almost did that arc, but we did do that arc.
Because everybody is a bad
3 raccoons in a trench coat.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, one of the things that is, I think, the most fun about Xhafer and I's friendship is we met doing LARP, and our characters were part of a group of good guys because we noticed in this LARP game, everybody wanted to play the edgy bad guy.
So many fucking edgy bad guys.
And so it was either bad guys or I'm morally gray and I'll do whatever it takes to achieve my goals. It's like, there are no good guys in this entire story.
There was one other unit in the group besides us that was good.
And there were 7 people in that group.
And they were all like epic heroes.
Yeah.
And so we were just like, we're good guys. We're just soldiers.
Yeah,
we're just hanging out.
We're just normal good guys.
We're just normal good guys.
Because, sometimes a story needs good guys.
Just need an army. So we're the army. What's up?
Yeah, I'm okay with being 3.
Okay. What are you going to put me as? Wait, let me take a sip of my bourbon so I could spit it out in response.
No, that's good bourbon, man. I'm not going to...
Okay. You're right. It is good bourbon.
I'll put you at a 4.
Okay. All right. Pick a song. Knocking on Heaven's Door, Freebird, Breaking the Law, The Macarena, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Ring My Bell, Bitches Ain't Shit,
That you.
Don't Speak, and The Drugs Don't Work. I mean, Dr. Dre, it's probably my least favorite Dr. Dre song, to be perfectly honest.
Most least favorite famous Dr. Dre song?
No, least favorite. Like, it is not a Dr. Dre song that I listen to.
Okay.
Bitches Ain't Shit. Like, because when I throw on like old school rap, I will listen to some Dre usually in there, and that is not a Dre song I go to.
To be fair,
Although
if I'm listening to
mostly
Bitches
I go
Ain't
to
Shit,
Cube.
I'm listening to Ben Folds, and now I am so mad at myself for never picking that in Draft the Universe when we did our covers.
That would have been a good one. Yeah. Ben Folds, Bitches Ain't Shit. That would have been a good one. All right.
And while you're picking, man, every so often, I will admit, I do have I'll come across a moment where I'm like, oh man, that would be a good topic to do a Draft the Universe draft.
Yeah.
Like, I miss that show, miss that game sometimes.
It was a very fun conceit for a podcast, and I do miss it. I miss the regular hang, which we've adopted into this.
Yeah.
And this game that we play now instead of LTO. But Draft the Universe is a lot of fun. Listeners, if you don't know what we're talking about, before Who Are You? Ben and I, along with another very close friend of ours, Chris, hosted 120 maybe episode podcast called Draft the Universe, where we would pick a topic, pick our favorites, and then debate them. So every topic was 2 episodes, and we would do a draft episode where we would all pick our top 5, and then we get a bunch of prompts, and we'd do debates and stuff, and whoever wasn't debating would be the judge. You'd score points.
And I'd always put in way too much effort to do the research.
And Chris would always put in none.
Yeah.
And I was right in the middle most of the time. It was a lot of fun. It was a fun little improv game. All of the like debates were always absurd. It was like, what do you do for your topic's first date or your pick's first date or something? Like, it was always just crazy stuff.
Yeah. So it didn't actually matter like who had the best list, because then you get the random questions, and that was fun. But if you are tempted to go back, I'm going to recommend 2 episodes for you.
Yeah.
One, our beers draft.
Beers draft.
Because the 3 of us just get incredibly drunk.
Oh my God, I was so drunk. I'm so glad I was able to walk home from the
that one
recording.
became 3 episodes because we got so drunk. And 2, I'm going to recommend the James Bond draft.
Early GTU.
Because 1, I watched every single James Bond movie in preparation for it. And 2, I made dirty martinis for everyone. And then Xhafer and Chris were like, hey, we don't like these. And so I drank 3 dirty martinis. There might be a through line here.
I actually, before we sat down to record, I poured myself a bourbon, but I whipped up Beth a dirty martini.
Nice.
As a finished her homework reward. And it's noteworthy because I'm using a Spanish gin that's actually distilled from olives.
Interesting.
It's very good martini. Anyways, 2 of these songs are currently on my playlist. I'm going to go with Knockin' on Heaven's Door because that's a song that I listened to earlier today. The other song that's currently on a playlist is Don't Speak by No Doubt.
No doubt. I'm going to go with Knockin' on Heaven's Door as well. I love that song.
It's a great song. I got the day off work. What are you going to do? Next question. Polish your rock collection, have a glass or 4 of wine, watch some classic sci-fi, read some poetry, have a massage, do something for charity, throw a dinner party, ring your bell, or eat breakfast.
Well, I'm going to eat breakfast. Well, actually, I don't eat breakfast.
I have to watch 2 television shows a week for podcast right now. And that's 4 hours of my not working time every week to do 2 episodes of notes for podcast. It takes about 2 hours an ep.
Glow is able to watch her episodes without pausing them while she does her notes, and I don't know how she does it, and it makes me so mad.
I mean, how much notes does she have?
I don't know, but like,
Does she just do joke notes, or does she have narrative notes?
I don't,
because we take narrative. I know we take narrative notes.
yes.
So like, if you're not doing narrative notes, I've done guest spots where I've done that because I'm not taking narrative notes because I know that I'm not going to have to do any of that. And I can get through an episode with notes in one sitting without pausing, maybe once or twice if I'm going on a leftist tangent or something. But for the most part, so I'm going to say watch some classic sci-fi because that's what I end up doing with a fair amount of my non-working, non-sleeping time.
I'm watching some classic sci-fi too.
All right, pick an animal: rat, grumpy cat, blowfish, giraffe, badger, bear, lion, snake, puppy. I'm a badger. Maybe I'm bear. I'm a bear. I want a bear cub.
You're
bad.
3 badgers in a trench coat, Xhafer.
That's fair. All right. Well, I got my answer after I clicked that last one. And I am, in fact, badger.
I'm going bear. And I got Hank.
Okay.
That feels right.
Yeah.
If I can't be Mamboa Gomez, who I doubt was an option.
Maybe you had to pick all of the blatantly Mexican stuff for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how good this quiz is.
So, before we go on to another quiz or anything, I've got what my plan was. We'll just take some turns.
Okay.
Thinking back about the shows we've watched. What one is your favorite? If I said, hey, Xhafer, we're watching an episode of one right now, which one would you be the most stoked?
Okay, so we've watched, in order, Breaking Bad, Into the Badlands, Stargate SG-1, Viper, Shameless, then Viper, Briscoe, The Expanse, that's where Viper is, and then Billions right now. Man, we've watched a lot of prestige TV.
We have.
In a short amount of time.
It's almost like it's working.
It is almost like the patent pending formula is working. There's a couple episodes of Breaking Bad that I would want to go back and watch that I haven't made time for. But to be honest, I'd probably want to start it over. I feel like now that we've had are we 100 episodes in? We're close.
We're almost 90.
It's been almost 2 years since we watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Give or take. Actually, once you throw in the break weeks, then yeah, it's been. I would say probably I'd want to rewatch all of Breaking Bad rather than watch a single episode.
Oh snap. Our first episode of Breaking Bad came out June 10th. So we are almost at our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, wow. That's a good catch, Ben.
Yeah.
The next episode we record will drop on June 10th.
Yeah, so 2 years ago we were in the midst of recording our Breaking Bad backlog.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but as far as just a random one, I'd probably be down to watch a random episode of The Expanse. I think that's a good show. I don't feel like I got enough of it, but I also am not super gung ho about going and watching it all in order right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say The Expanse.
That is one thing I do find in my free time. I do just watch dumb TV.
Yeah.
Because not only am I, when I watch prestige TV now, I am watching it and writing about it, just for myself.
Just memoirs.
Well, no, just writing notes and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's okay, that is why I rewatched Fastlane, because I'm I want to watch, early 2000s, like it's made by Mick G, and so it's just like this is a early aughts rap music video wrapped in a cop show.
Yeah. We just watched Andor season 2. Holy shit.
I that is next.
It is so good.
I just managed to finally finish Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, see, I'm on like episode 2 or 3 of that.
I mean, I love Daredevil. Like, I've got Daredevil comics. Like, Daredevil is my jam. I am real glad with what happened with that show because I don't know if you know any context around it. They like had it shot and everybody was like, I hate this sucks, or had it written, shot a bunch of it, and then we're like, we're taking this back to formula and redoing it, adding all of the legacy characters back in, and stop, like, not pretending like the Netflix show barely happened.
Okay.
Because, like, if I understand correctly, like, Vanessa Fisk was like not in the show. The first event of the show didn't happen because none of the other members of the original law firm were there. And like it didn't resemble the show so much that when they were like, oh, and of course we'll have John Barenthal in because he's still a thing, and John Barenthal's like, I will not be in this pile of shit. And so they rewrote it and made it like, because for his, like, every so often John Barenthal will say something kind of weird, where he's like, I appreciate all the Marines who wear Punisher shit. I'm like, but he does seem to like really enjoy taking ownership and stewardship of that character.
Yeah.
That when he was like, hey, I sign off on this, I'm like, all right, you did not need to be here for a paycheck. You care about Punisher. I loved this season.
It's on my to watch for sure.
And so I'm I think I'm going to start Andor next.
Have you watched season 1?
Yes.
Okay. Season 2 is not the slow burn that season 1 was. It is meant to be kind of watched in 3-episode chunks. Mm-hmm. It was released in 3-episode chunks, and the narrative is centric around that. Without saying anything, but it's kind of like 3 little 3-episode stories, or 4 3-episode stories. But episodes 7 through 11 right now is the highest rated stretch of any episodes on IMDb. Like, highest rated consecutive episode stretch in TV history right now. And that's a fair statement. It's fantastic.
The one thing that worries me, and the thing that makes me mad, is a lot of the discourse around it has also, you know, because of course the character ends back up in Rogue One, and the thing that makes me so mad is everybody being like, and of course, spoilers for a 10-year-old movie, everyone had to die because otherwise they would have been in Star Wars. And it's like, no. The rebellion, even as small as it is big.
Yeah.
All you have
to
do is end the movie with, and now we need you guys to be doing something else. You know, it's like, how, like, and if you know, your World War II people fighting in the Pacific actually mattered, they would be here in my D-Day movie. And it's like, no, there's different people doing different shit. It's a war.
You know what the best example of that is? In universe? Fucking Rebels. The last episode of Rebels, like, ends before A New Hope, right? Or around A New Hope, I think. And then skips to the end of Return of the Jedi. Just like, and these characters were here the entire time. We just didn't see them because we were focused on the fucking Lukes and Hans and Leias of the world. And you just missed Zeb being in the Rebel Alliance that whole fucking time.
Right.
Because of course you did.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know,
so
General
obvious.
Patton couldn't have mattered. He wasn't in Band of Brothers. And it's like, no, he was doing different shit.
I need to rewatch Band of Brothers.
Oh, Band of Brothers is so good. I mean, that's part of why I wanted to watch Billions, because I love Damian Lewis.
Yeah.
Did not expect Billions to be what Billions is, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a bit of a surprise, but it is what it is. All right. Well, I have more quizzes if we want to do another quiz.
Let's do one more quiz.
Okay, I've got Billions, SG-1, and The Expanse queued up. What do you want to take the quiz for?
Let's do SG-1.
Okay. I hope that this isn't a forever quiz, because I pulled up like 3 of them, and they were all like 80 fucking questions.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see here. All right. Question 1. A mission conflicts with personal beliefs. Do you follow orders or stand your ground? A. I'm the captain of my soul. Sorry, orders. B. Let's pivot to a win-win situation. That doesn't... This is a terrible fucking quiz.
Yes. This feels like I'm taking an HR personality profile.
Fuck this quiz. Let's do Billions.
Okay. I hope this doesn't have any spoilers.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of the times with these quizzes, the spoilers are like referencing things that happen in the show to like, so when you take the quiz, you're like, oh, well, I know that this character does this thing, right? And you can kind of guide your answers.
But we don't know
what the
shit.
characters. So we wouldn't know a spoiler if it hit us.
I recognize like half the characters in this picture.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That might be a spoiler.
There's a decent chunk of them that I recognize. It's a very dense cast. There's like 4 I don't recognize in here. All right. 1. How do you approach decision making? Through analysis, intuition, and gut feelings. I consult with trusted advisors. I consider the impact on my personal relationships. I am an analysis guy by trade.
I consult with trusted advisors.
I mean, I do a little bit of all of these things, but we have to pick one.
Yeah.
All right. Describe your leadership style. Visionary and inspiring, pragmatic and results-oriented, empathetic and supportive, or decisive and authoritative.
None of these answers is divvy out the work and then go poop for an hour.
I would say pragmatic and results-oriented is divvy the work and go poop for half an hour, Ben. I'm going to go with supportive for myself based on evidence of things that people have told me who used to work for me. That aren't you.
I'll go with empathetic and supportive.
How do you handle conflicts?
Poorly.
Strategize and outmaneuver. Direct confrontation and assert your position. Mediate and seek compromise. Or avoid and de-escalate.
I avoid and de-escalate.
Yeah, I tend to be a bit more strategic. What best describes your level for ambition? A level of ambition? Insatiable drive for success, motivated by personal fulfillment, aim for professional recognition, value a balanced and fulfilling life.
I am motivated by personal fulfillment.
Yeah, that's very true. I can't say professional recognition because I couldn't even talk about a professional thing that I'd done earlier in this fucking episode.
That's true.
So I'm going to go with balanced and fulfilling life. What is your ethical standpoint? I do whatever it takes to win. Try and maintain a strong moral code. I believe the ends justify the means. I value integrity above all.
Well, seeing as I believe that the means justify the ends, I don't know which one is the more ethical of I value integrity or I try to maintain a strong moral code.
I'm going to say probably integrity.
I'm going to go I value integrity above all.
Yeah. Man, I have definitely dipped my toes in ends justify the means a number of times. I'm also the guy professionally who I feel like has made a career out of asking for forgiveness, not permission. So I'm going to go that route and know that I tempered a bit more than that statement actually seems like it says. How do you approach negotiation? Aim for an easy win-win, relentless and uncompromising. I use psychological tactics to gain an edge, or I focus on building long-term relationships. I am definitely a long-term relationships kind of guy.
I try to focus on easy win-wins. Like, hey, how do we both get what we want out of this?
I tend to be a lot like, hey, remember that time that we interacted and this thing happened? Let's learn from that kind of a guy. Let's see here. How do you react under pressure? I thrive and perform my best. I remain calm and composed. I seek support from my team, or I need to take a minute to regroup. I do well under pressure.
Are you going thrive or remain calm?
I'm going to say thrive. I feel like I've gotten some of my best work done on a deadline.
I'm going to go I remain calm.
All right. Describe your social interactions. Charismatic and enjoy networking. I prefer meaningful one-on-one conversations. I'm reserved but approachable, or I am direct and sometimes blunt.
I prefer meaningful one-on-one conversations.
I also prefer meaningful one-on-one conversations, but I've also had been talked to by numerous people in my life about maybe taking it back a bit. So I feel like I'm required to hit direct and blunt. I have learned a lot. Maybe that's more a younger me, but we're going to go for it for this quiz. If only so that I've got a different answer than you. How do you manage work-life balance? That's a stupid question for anyone on this show. My work is my life. I prioritize time with loved ones. I set strict boundaries between work and personal, or I struggle to find a balance.
I prioritize time with loved ones.
You do. I am real boundaries between work and personal life kind of guy. Finally, what motivates you the most? Financial success and power, professional growth and treatment, making a positive impact on others, or personal fulfillment and happiness. I am motivated most by making a positive impact on other people. I look at net happiness, net utility in a lot of things.
I am positive impact, even if it's at the expense of my own happiness.
Yeah,
I would rather make somebody else happy than be happy. I've talked to my therapist about that.
All right, I got my answer.
Mine's loading.
I got Wendy Rhodes.
Me too.
Too many of the same answers, Ben.
Yeah, I know.
We're peas of a pod. All right. Well, we've been at this for a minute. So
before we go, I'm going to do one last turnabout of my questions for you. I am just curious, out of the shows we've watched, is there any character that sticks out to you that you're like, man, I wish I knew more about them, got to spend more time with them. Like, I think about this character.
Oh, Amos on The Expanse. 100%. Very easy answer. I think Amos is a super interesting character that we didn't get to spend a lot of time with. I feel a lot of especially watching Battlestar over on Who Are You right now. Mm-hmm. A lot of Tyrell in Amos as well. And Tyrell is one of my favorite characters over on BSG. most of the time. And so there's kind of like that, like, kind of like, do I feel that kinship there? Maybe, like waylay some of that positive interaction that I have with Tyrell over to Amos. But mostly it's knowing how Amos's story ends, him being the dude that's left effectively. I'm very interested at like how that, like why that character was chosen for that role. Because it kind of makes sense, but I feel like I just need to know a little bit more.
Fair.
How about you?
I want, like, and this might just be, I find the actor just incredibly charming, but I like lovable rogues, which is why, like, I love Briscoe County Jr. so much. And I am forever sad I was not able to watch those episodes and talk about it with you guys. Like, I can watch the show, but I missed being like talking to you guys about how cool Lord Bowler is and stuff. And so when it comes to the shows we've watched that have had a lovable rogue, I think that none are more so than Nick Frost's Badgie.
Yeah.
I would love just to know more about this weird British guy in the middle of post-apocalyptic nightmare.
That's fair. All right. Well, we did it, Ben. We got an episode in.
We did.
All right. We should probably say some thank yous. And I'm going to start with thanking Victor, who's probably listening to this one.
I hope so.
I mean, whatever. It's his time. You know,
Well, listen to it while you're packing. Or
well, he should be done packing.
Unpacking.
By now. Dear fucking Christ, Victor. I hope you're done packing by now. I don't know that this gets said a lot on pod, but I really appreciate having you along. Not that I don't mind hanging out with Ben without you, because, you know, we do that a lot. But it feels a little different today with just Ben and I.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing, but it's worth noting. And so I just want to thank you, Victor, for everything you bring to the podcast. You're a true bud, a great friend.
Absolutely.
And a presence that is notable in its missing right now.
Yeah.
So thanks for doing this with us. It's been a blast for having you on for the year some you've been on the podcast now. And to
most of the run so far.
Yeah, your little pod education, your pod school or whatever, your pod apprenticeship has turned into a full-blown friendship that I appreciate in my day-to-day life. So thanks, Vic.
Yeah. Glad you were like, hey, I'll just like come and hang out and watch SG1 with you guys. It's like, haha, you're trapped.
Gotcha, bitch.
You ain't going nowhere. No, yeah. Love you, Vic, man. Like,
Yeah.
you have become an integral part of our little pod family here, and I really appreciate that. And
100%.
in a similar vein, I want to say thank you over to the cool girls who spun a April Fool's Day episode off into something I am excited to listen to every week.
It's great pod.
It's fun, and also like I love it because when Glow is recording with them, I hear like the yelling and the screaming and the laughter, and I'm like, that's gonna be a good episode.
It's interesting because I also, I hear Beth, record, and then listening to that episode weeks or months later, depending on when that happened in that recording. It's interesting. It's a lot of fun. It's weird to be in a parasocial hang with people that I have very normal social relationships with.
Right.
But I appreciate it. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of the feelings that our friend Kelly would experience and talk about with us when listening to Draft the Universe.
Yes.
Being a friend of ours who lived hours away and wasn't able to have those regular hangs and would describe hanging out with us via Draft the Universe. So I understand those feelings now.
And it gives me an
that
extra hour of Laura a week, which is great, as the person who doesn't get to record a show with her.
Yeah, you can talk to her about.
And we do talk in the Discord and stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to be like, hey, Laura, in the middle of all this, want to add another podcast just so I get an excuse to talk to you more? It's not like you're getting a doctorate and have babies and stuff. You busy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Cool Girls. Really appreciate that part of our pod fam as well.
And shout out to Ripe, who
Hell yeah.
we got to
Our
meet.
drinking buddies.
Yeah.
Right.
That is still blows my mind.
Crazy.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to see Ripe, go do it. If not, hey, just stream some of their music.
Yeah.
They've got a really cool bright blues baseball tee. I've got a really cool tie-dye shirt. Like, get some merch.
Yeah,
Thank you for letting us use your song Goon Squad. Yes, check out their tours, check out their merch.
Yeah. Shout out the What Happened Her Discord. Go ahead and leave us 5-star reviews. We appreciate the hell out of that. And we'll see you next time on Last Time On.